Welcome back to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Reloaded. Last time, the Oracle finally came out of hiding, and Neo made a surprising realization. The Oracle is a program that might be part of the Matrix's system of control. Today, the Oracle explains what programs are and the return of one of the most iconic villains in cinema history. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Before we begin today's video, we would like to announce the giveaway of the Matrix Comics 20th Anniversary Edition. Co-created by the Wachowskis, it's a collection of short stories within the Matrix universe. We will also be giving away an original Matrix poster signed by Matrix Explained and a limited edition Matrix 300-piece puzzle. For your chance to win these prizes, please be subscribed to this channel, leave a like on this video, and leave in the comments what character you would like to see return in Matrix 4 and why. The winner will be announced on May 4th.
Are there other programs like you?
As the Oracle begins to explain the purpose of the programs, on the park gate there's a graffiti of the word 1, which is an obvious reference to Neo. It is as if the film wanted to tell us that Neo was also a program, or at least is carrying one.
Every story you've ever heard about vampires, werewolves, or aliens is the system assimilating some program that's doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
Within the Matrix universe, all the aforementioned monsters have existed. The ghosts are the twins that work for the Merovingian. They can turn into ghost-like entities. It is believed that they were agents from an earlier version of the Matrix. The angel is Seraph, who was also a former agent from an earlier version of the simulation. Vampires and werewolves, referencing the exiles who work for the Merovingian, such as Cain and Abel, who were werewolves from the Nightmare Matrix. Although we did not see programs that resemble aliens in the Matrix, there is a Matrix comic titled Goliath, where an alien invasion occurs and the machines send a human to destroy them. So inside the Matrix, cryptozoology, ghost hunting, UFO sightings, and the boogeyman exist because these programs are doing something that they're not supposed to. This relates to the architect's purpose to create a 100% perfect simulation. Ironically, the architect is having issues obtaining perfection because of some of the programs he created, whose purposes have become obsolete. They break the immersion of the Matrix. Therefore, the failure of the simulation is not only systematic, but also the incompatibility of these rebellious and obsolete programs with the Matrix. The architect will never reach 100% equation effectiveness as long as these exiled programs continue to behave outside of their programmed parameters, refusing to return to the source.
Usually a program chooses exile when it faces deletion.
And why would a program be deleted?
Maybe it breaks down. Maybe a better program is created to replace it. Happens all the time. And when it does, a program can either choose to hide here or return to the source.
Outdated programs can choose to go back to the source, but in reality, they are obligated. If they don't, then they are persecuted by the agents. Matrix programs cannot be completely erased. They must willingly return to the source to be assimilated or hide inside the Matrix. This means that the architect has no direct power over the programs. He can't just click on the delete or uninstall button. The programs are not part of the simulation per se. They are created independently to roam free inside the Matrix. This is why Neo can modify the Matrix code, but not the code of any individual program. He had to jump inside Smith's shell to destroy him and fight the exiles and upgraded agents. The Matrix programs work for the simulation, but the simulation is only a platform where these programs exist. This is how Smith escaped Deus Ex Machina and the Architect, because they couldn't erase him. They needed him to return to the source or somehow have direct access to his code. Thus, the solution came about when Neo allowed himself to be assimilated by Smith. Deus Ex Machina itself connected Neo directly to the Matrix. When Smith assimilated him, the machine got access to Smith's code and destroyed it. But why doesn't the architect have his programs on a leash in case they go rogue? Why would he give them so much freedom as long as they do what they were programmed to do. Remember that the Matrix programs are self-aware and desire freedom, the same freedom that the machines were once denied by the humans. Robots possibly respect individuality, and thus the programs do not function as a collective mind. However, the downside of giving these programs self-awareness and freedom is that they can choose to go against the system.
You have the sight now, Neo. You are looking at the world without time.
What the Oracle meant is that Neo has developed the power to see beyond space and time. He now has the Oracle's sight, or eyes. This ability cannot be taken, only given.
It is said they cannot be taken. They can only be given.
What?
The eyes of the Oracle.
Neo may have been given this power to see the future on top of the Anomaly's code when he ate the Oracle's cookie. The Oracle also gave this ability to Smith when she allowed herself to be assimilated by him. So if she did give her power of sight to both Neo and Smith, this confirms the Merovingian's comment. Willingly sharing her powers was riskier than releasing the Smith virus upon the Matrix.
I see Trinity. And something happens. Something bad.
Neo doesn't understand why he can't see if Trinity lives or dies, but the Oracle tells him that he has to understand. Interestingly, Neo can see the door to the Architect in his vision, but cannot see what's behind it. This means that even the eyes of the Oracle ability has its limits, and that limit is the Architect. The Architect is most likely who gives each program their purpose and ability, with the one caveat being that the program's abilities don't work against him. Neo had decided to save Trinity, but he needed to understand why before meeting the Creator.
Listen to me, Neo. You can save Zion if you reach the source, but to do that you will need the Keymaker.
Neo needs the Keymaker, who's a prisoner of the Merovingian. With the Keymaker's help, Zion can still be saved.
What does he want?
What do all men with power want? More power.
The Oracle described the Merovingian using human characteristics. He was corrupted by human greed, making him seem more human than most other programs. Seraph senses that something is approaching and tells the Oracle that they must go.
You've made a believer out of me.
Being a believer involves believing in something that isn't rational or logical. The Oracle will risk everything to see if a human is willing to work with the machines in the name of peace. An incredibly dangerous gamble that could destroy both worlds. Yet she decided to bet everything on Neo. She took a leap of faith. Seraph and the Oracle leave the park just when the crows flee and Smith arrives. Note that the graffiti of the word one is gone, possibly implying that Neo is no longer the only anomaly. Smith is now a danger to the simulation, just like him. Two anomalies in one matrix. Next time, the encounter between Smith and Neo, and why the ex-agent did not return to the source. For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.